What's up, people? I am back for another video. Today we are reviewing Batman Under the Red Hood, and before I guess I go into that, I will be doing. I guess I can give you my updated plans now for videos this week. So tomorrow I'll be doing another movie my friend Z recommend. He usually recommends me good stuff, so I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna review a cowboy movie called Wild Bunch. And then on Tuesday I will be doing The Faculty. Then on Wednesday we will be doing The Haunting, which is a movie I've never seen. And I think what came up, I was talking to my friends about this, and because we were talking about, I was wondering what was Scary Movie 2 based off of. And apparently, the movie was based off of a movie called The Haunting, which came out in '99. I've never seen it. I don't think I've ever heard of this movie. So I'm going to be reviewing that on Wednesday. Then Thursday, it is Thanksgiving, but I might still try to do a video. I'm probably going to review... since this is gonna be my first time watching, and my friend Mara recommended me these movies, and she said these are really good, so I will check them out. I have never seen them, the How to Train Your Dragon movies. I don't know, at the time, I think they came out, it was like 2010 was the first one, and I think it was around the same time as the first Expendables, and I think I saw that instead. So, I've never, and I think at the time too, I kind of tuned, there's a period where I'll be honest, I kind of tuned out of animated movies. I don't know why, not because they were bad or anything, it was just like, I don't know if I was more focused on like live action stuff at the time, so maybe that's what it was. So I missed out on these movies, and since I didn't see the first one, I just didn't see the sequels. So I will finally check them out, so I figure, why not review them too? So I'll be reviewing the first one on Thursday. If not this Thursday, then I'll start it next Thursday. But I probably still will do it though. If anything, sorry, I don't want my nose running right now. But I will be doing them. I'm sorry for stumbling on my words there. I will do it Thursday. I'll just probably do it Thursday during the day. I don't really have anything planned for Thanksgiving, but so. Anyway, and then Friday, Superman 3. So that's my updated schedule. But today, we are reviewing, in my opinion, probably my favorite Batman movie, even including over some live action ones. Batman Under the Red Hood. I love this story. The story of Jason Todd coming back. The movie starts off with his death, and then the way it transitions. Jensen Ackles voicing Jason Todd. It is the perfect voice. And in my opinion, this is going to be the thumbnail for the video. That whole speech back and forth between Jason and Batman in the end, when he confronts him about, because, Bruce thinks he failed him because he died. When in reality, that's not what it was. He feels like he failed him for not killing the Joker. And then he just goes on this whole diatribe, and he's like, even the scene where he's like, I'm not talking about killing Dent, I'm not talking about killing Penguin, just him. That scene hits, man. And then the moment when he's like, when he took me away from me, I'm not gonna lie, there was a point I watched it like a year or two ago, I'm not gonna lie, that got a little tear out of me. I was like, God damn, that line hit. Jensen really delivers his ass off in that whole scene. Is so good. And then, Batman talking about his side of it. And it's like you understand both sides. Grant, I'm more on Jason Todd's side because Joker should die. I think the only criticism I have, I don't really love the voice actor they got for Joker. I get it, not everyone can be Mark Hamill, but I don't know. I think the only thing that would have made the movie look better if they got a bit of a better voice actor. Granted, I did like his delivery in the opening when he was beating up Jason in the start of it, which, that's a scene from the comic. And yeah, and then Jason Todd's introduction, and not even just him, Black Mask. In my opinion, this is probably, for me, my favorite version of Black Mask in anything, aside from, probably the Arkham games. He is so good in this. He is so fucking great. the scenes where he's like talking to his subordinates, and if they fuck up or he's just mad, he'll just punch him in the face. That is Black Mask, and the accent's perfect. He wants, because Red Hood's, basically forcing all the gangs to pay him, in that he takes over, and he will offer them protection from Black Mask, which is fucking over Black Mask. So he sends people to kill Jason Todd. He sends like this. I forgot what this gang is. The fearsome hand of four, to try to get Red Hood, but then Batman helps him. So I love that scene where they do team up, and there's a scene where Batman confronts him, and you can tell he's trained because he even is able to cut one of the grappling hook rope. It's like, I really do love it. And then you get the little flashbacks, and I love the movie's paced well. It's only like an hour and 16 minutes, and it's such a good story. I fucking watch it daily. It's one of my favorite it's my favorite Batman movie. I love Mask of Phantasm. I can understand why that's a lot of people's favorite, especially in terms of the animated ones. But for me, this one is just so good. That third act, man, gets me every fucking time. The action's great, but it's a cartoon, but the action is pretty good. But that's not even what does it for me. It's that third act with the confrontation, but not even the actual fight part of it. Just the back and forth between Bruce and Jason is so well done. Jensen really is the VIP, though. The way he would deliver lines. Obviously, he's very cocky a bit in the beginning, but then once he shows more of his, especially when it's revealed he's Jason Todd, he has the mask up, the mask off. It is, man. That scene it punches you in the chest, man. It's like a punch to the chest, bro. When he says that line, like, when he took me away from you, and he's like, talking about like how if he did, basically what Joker did to him, what if Joker did to Batman, what he did to him, that he would find him and kill him. Because there's even a flashback where you see him go too far, like, beating up a criminal. So they really do a good job with the flashbacks. They don't just like fucking spam them, or they're not just random. They're not a million of them, because there's some movies and stuff where they just do too many flashbacks. I really like that they don't do too many. They have the right amount. And like I said, it's a great movie. I very much recommend it. It's one of, my opinion, it's a great Batman story. It's a great rendition of the death of the, Under the Red Hood, and / Death in the Family, if you want to kind of combine it. Rendition of that story. And yeah, I just think it's really good, and I think more people need to fucking see it, if you've not seen it. Don't just think, well, it's a cartoon, it's not like the live action movies. I'm sorry, I love the Batman live movies, but those movies don't compare to this, if I'm just being honest, in terms of pure just story. This is better. And I like, you have some of the Bat family. I don't think they have a Robin. I think you have Dick Grayson's Nightwing, but that's it. I do kind of like that. I like some of the scenes with him and Alfred in the story. And I don't know what happened there. But yeah, I definitely recommend this one. Especially if you're a Batman fan and you love Red Hood as a character, this is the story that did it. And once again, I gotta praise that fucking third act, fucking speech from Jensen Ackles, as Jason Todd. That whole scene hits, man. That, like, every fucking time, even if just randomly sometimes, I'll just put that scene on. It's just so fucking good. The way he delivers that line. And it's like, man, if they could do this live action, I mean, not now, because he's too old to be Red Hood now, but, man, if they had did this back in, around, when, BVS, or even, around BVS would have been perfect. He would have probably been the right age to play Red Hood. Man, this scene would have hit live action. Just seeing it, but even because it hits in a cartoon, I can only imagine if they executed word by word and didn't change a thing, it would hit live action, man. Yeah, that whole speech is so good. You know, like especially because like, he really hammers it home with the scene when he's talking about not talking about Dent, not talking about Penguin. You know, he's talking about just Joker. The amount of people he's killed. You know, the graveyards he's filled. Like that whole thing is so good. Anyway, I just had to. You're good. I'm gonna be praising that scene a lot in this video. So, but yeah, tomorrow, Wild Bunch review. This is gonna be one of those movies I go in blind. I've never seen. So, but yeah. Subscribe to Pin Down Podcast. Link will be in the description. The movie opens up with basically the icon, pretty much the death of Jason Todd, Rage, you know, realizing his mistake when Batman, you know, Joker capturing Jason Todd, and we get that scene when he beats him, and Batman gets there too late, and the warehouse blows up. And then we jump a couple years ahead. Then Red Hood, this is where we get. I love his introduction of gangs having a meeting, and it turns out it's Red Hood who arranged it. And he orders them to basically take over their drug trade and basically wants some of their profit. If they refuse, he kills them. I think he killed like one of them already. So, and then he says he'll offer them protection from Black Mask and Batman. And so we see this is where we get Batman's introduction. Him and Nightwing take out Amazo, who it was kind of cool seeing him in this. I remember watching this from like, oh, he's in this, especially because Amazo, what I remember him from was the Justice League cartoon. So I'm like, because he's more in that show, he's like an intergalactic. You need like he was even able to take out the Justice. So it was just kind of wild to see him in this and just Batman taking him out. But you know that's fun. After this, they find out they are working for Red Hood, and I think this is where we get a Red Hood chase, which I thought that scene was pretty good. And Red Hood is able to like escape with ease. And one thing he noticed is like how he was able to just like cut the grappling hook like rope like quick. He cut it pretty quick, like nothing. And then Black Mask, Joker, Batman interrogates Joker, which I always love their scenes. I just think that's my only criticism, really. I just don't love the Joker voice actor. He's not bad, and you know whatever I think of Mark Hamill, it's not just because it needs to be Mark Hamill's Joker. That's not my problem. It's like I thought the Batman voice actor in this is pretty good, and it's not Kevin Conroy, but it's just I just thought the Joker in here at times, just the way he delivered lines at times, like ugh. But it's not bad. I thought he was serviceable, I guess. So. Dude, I love the scenes where Black Mask just freaks out. He's just yelling at his people and the way he just threatened them. The way he carried himself. I want that Black Mask in a fucking movie. Not the fucking bullshit they did in Birds of Prey, or as I call it, Birds of Shit. That is not Black Mask. For one, he has the mask on the whole fucking time. It's melded to his face, for one. But he's just a mobster with a mask on his face. You know, the scenes where he, like, it's a little bit ahead, but where he's just punching his subordinates because he's just mad. And he's, like, punches all of them and just beats the shit out of them. That's Black Mask. And, like, the way he talks, I'm like, this is the Black Mask I want in a fucking movie. Like, oh my god, man. Because I think he's actually a great villain for Batman. Yeah, he's not one of the... Like, he's not pure evil compared to, like, some of his other villains, right? Because ultimately, he is just kind of a mob boss. So, Red Black Mask puts a hit out on on Red Hood. Batman and Nightwing stop Red Hood, and then they chase him to a train station, but he manages to injure Nightwing. And that's when Batman slowly starts realizing, as he's watching a video, fucking assholes who threw in their cars. Anyway, he realizes the move, because he's watching a video, like the way he moves, that he's kind of realizing, he's putting two and two together, that it's Jason Todd. Because this is when he has like a little flashback of him and Robin, like initially first meeting, him stealing the car, or he attempts to steal the Batmobile, but then he takes him in, and that's when he trains him to be Robin. So they show him like probably like their first mission, and then him kind of growing over the years, and eventually he grew more violent, especially as he aged. Because like there's one part where because Batman was trying to interrogate a guy, he just beat him and I think broke his arm or something and put him in shock. And so Black Mask sends the Fearsome Hand of Four, who I don't remember if they're from the comics or not, or if they're just for this movie. I'm assuming they are, because a lot of the times, like, the DC animated films typically do try to be pretty accurate to the comics. So, especially compared to, like, the live action counterparts, like, a lot of the time they'll be, like, just ripped from the page, So they try to attack Red Hood. Initially, Red Hood pretty much handles them mostly on his own, but then, they about to they corner him. So Batman comes and helps, and I love when he just shut up and fight, and then they just start teaming up together, which was pretty cool. Because Red Hood's not evil. This story is so well done, and I guess side rant, this is what Arkham Knight probably should have been. They should have not did Arkham Knight. You could have still called them the game that, but it really should have just been Red Hood, honestly, because it was Jason Todd anyway, so why not just have it be Red Hood? And you already have the Red Hood template in the game anyway, because he's a playable character later on, so why not just make it Red Hood? Basically do this movie as a game. This is pretty much you can do. Maybe if you want to have Scarecrow still in the game, because I actually love Scarecrow in that game, but yeah. Anyway, back to this movie. And so they both managed to beat the Fearsome Four. And basically Red Hood tells Batman that he's doing what Batman won't do and kill criminals. And Batman analyzes a blood sample, and this is basically when he gets his confirmation that it's Jason. He confronts Rage about what really happened, and Rage tells him that he took him to the Lazarus pit because he felt bad for what happened. He kind of blamed himself, and Jason escaped, and that's what happened. Red Hood attempts to kill Black Mask, in retaliation for sending the assassins on him. And he manages to escape, so he uses the Joker, basically tasking him with killing Red Hood. But, obviously hiring the Joker's never gonna go well, because he pretty much turns on him and tries to kidnap Black Mask, but then Red Hood actually sets a trap and pretty much just wants the Joker. That's what this really was about, was just getting the Joker. Because he knew that Black Mask was going to be basically crazy enough to get the Joker out, because he knows Batman's not going to kill him, That's what makes this movie so good. I just, I know I say a lot, but I really would love this. If they can do this live action, obviously, I don't think it needs to be, you can extend it a little bit. I don't think it'd just be an hour 16. You could probably make it 2 hours, but I would love this as a film. This would so work, but obviously the state of DC right now, I don't know if they could even do it right, but this movie is just, like, this is what DC does right, is those animated movies. Those animated movies are just amazing. Maybe I'll do more of them, like eventually the one I would love to do at some point, I probably should have did it kind of slapping myself and not doing it around the time the Flash came out. I should have did the Flashpoint animated movie. I wasn't thinking about it at the time, but I probably should have did that last year around when the Flash came out. So, but I will definitely do that one though. That's like another one I want to do. Maybe when I get back. Maybe not next week because I know not this week because Tuesday I already got something else to do. But the Tuesday after, maybe I'll do Flashpoint. Fuck it. Thinking it's on my mind right now anyway. So Joker, Red Hood takes Joker. Batman saves the hostages, but really those are just a distraction. So for Red Hood to take the Joker, then Batman goes and gets the Joker. There's a scene where he goes by a car and it reminds him of, Jason trying to take the Batmobile. But then, yeah, they confront each other. This is where his helmet gets knocked off and you actually see his face. And they go back into the building and that's when he gets the Joker. And this is where the start of probably one of my favorite DC sequences just ever. Including live action movies. Like, this scene is just so fucking good. Because you really can agree with both points of view. Batman talking about like how Jason basically never understood why. He's even talking about like how many times he's wanted to end him. And he's thought about it. And then but you understand Jason's point of view because he's saying, I'm not talking about killing Penguin, Riddler, Two-Face, because those are they're bad people, but you can just throw them in jail, right? Because typically, largely because kind of like mobsters, they do have that, they don't just straight up just kill innocent people for no reason, largely. Or, you can even throw, Mr. Freeze in there. He's talking about the Joker, who how many times he just gets out and kills more innocent people. So it's you really understand both points of view. And, man, Jensen really acted his ass off here. And that's one thing I gotta give. The respect he has for voice acting, he could have just phoned it in, because keep in mind, he was doing Supernatural at the time, and he could have easily just phoned it in, because there's a lot of actors who just see voice acting as, I just gotta read the script, and then just read the lines and be done. But the fact that he really put that emotion in, I feel like in every scene, but definitely in this one. You're not even seeing his face, but he was acting his fucking ass off. The way he would just deliver those lines. And man, like I said, when he said, when he tried to, because he took me away from you, it was oh, man, that's a punch to the gut. That fucking, it's that is what voice acting should be. There is a respect to it. And actually, I think it's a bit harder because you're not going to, when you're normal acting, and I'm not saying that's not hard either, but you can convey emotions and stuff easier because, your face is being seen. With voice acting, it's not. But when you still try to do it, and that's what a lot of the best voice actors, Kevin Conroy, Tara Strong, you name it, you name it. And I just feel like this scene really personifies that. It really hit. And the fact that I gotta give it to Jensen Ackles, like I said, he could have just phoned it in. Because this wasn't even this obviously, none of the DC movies are theatrical releases. This was straight to DVD. So it's even he could have literally phoned it in if he really wanted to. And not just him, though. A lot of those voice actors, because, for these DC movies typically try, but there are a lot of voice actors, like Jensen Ackles, yeah, he wasn't a movie star, but he was in one of the biggest shows out at the time in Supernatural. Especially in 2010. That was at its prime. I think that was season 4 or 5. So it was at its prime at the time. So the fact he still gave a shit and, really tried to really help, because this is what makes this movie stand out, is largely this scene. I love the whole movie, but this scene hits me every time. I'm not gonna lie. I don't. I rewind it a couple times before I let the movie continue. Like that scene is it just hits, man. It's so fucking good. And sometimes I'll just watch it randomly, just the scene alone. Because I do love the story of Red Hood, and this scene really shows it. And it's so and like so he basically says you got to choose because he's about to kill Joker, and Jason tosses Joker, Batman a gun and gives him an open ultimatum. So he basically says if he doesn't, he'll shoot Joker if he doesn't. If Batman shoots him, and Batman drops the gun. So Batman throws a batarang before Jason is about to shoot Bruce, and he sets off a bomb, and Batman subdues Joker, tries to save Jason, but the bomb explodes, but Jason's gone. But I don't think Jason actually is dead. I've always assumed he faked his death. I know normally like these animated movies don't usually get sequels. Generally, sometimes they do, but usually they don't. Or like I know those like Throne of Atlantis DC movies. I think they did get sequels in the sense of it's in the same continuity. But I would have loved if this got a sequel. I would have loved to follow up like with Jensen Ackles. I really wish he tackled Red Hood again. I mean, live action, but even like voice acting again. He was great as Batman in those the long Halloween animated films. But I really wish he played Jason one more time. I really love his Red Hood. His voice, to me, I'm gonna say it. His voice is what Kevin Conroy's voice is to Batman. To me, he is Red Hood. That is the voice of Red Hood. Is Jensen Ackles. To where like if I see Jason Todd in like other media, even if it's someone else's voice, I sometimes just dub in my mind Jensen Ackles' voice over it because he has such a perfect voice for Jason Todd and Red Hood. I would have really wished he got to play it again, but it is what it is. He probably got too busy with Supernatural, and maybe they just didn't want to. Maybe they just felt like this should have been a one-off, which is fine, But Joker, so the bomb explodes. Jason's gone. Joker's arrested. Batman has a moment with Alfred, and he has another flashback. And he doesn't. And Alfred offers to get rid of the Jason costume, so it doesn't like remind him. But Bruce says no, and decides to keep it. Then we get a flashback of showing Jason's basically him trying the costume on for the first time, which is pretty cool. Cool little way to end the movie. It's a great film, man. I am so happy I watched this again. I actually watched this a couple of times. I could watch this a lot. And I definitely wish more people would watch it. DC animated movies are great. I'm going to eventually get into reviewing some of them. Not all of them, but like some of them. Especially the good ones. This is one of them. This is such a great Batman story. To me, this is my favorite Batman story. Live action. I mean, in terms of just, even including the live actions. It's just so good. This scene, man, with him and Jason in the end is so good. That third act. But even the whole story. A good depiction of Black Mask. Fucking good fight scenes. I love Red Hood's introduction. The movie gets going quick too. And I even love the scenes with Ra's al Ghul, even though he's more of a background character. Like he's in the beginning. There's a scene where Bruce can, Batman, talks to him later about what happened. And I like the way they place the flashbacks. They don't just spam them the entire movie, and the flashbacks make sense within the narrative. Yeah, man, the voice acting is great. I like the actor who played Batman. I thought he did pretty good. The only one, like I said, I didn't really love was Joker's, but aside from him, I loved everybody. Fucking Black Mask's actor was great. That voice is so good. And man, I really wish we would get a Black Mask like that in the movie, because that is what Black Mask should be. How he is in this is what I want Black Mask in, like a live action movie. Such a good movie, and I often watch this a lot. And yeah, man, and I'm gonna say it again: the fact that Jensen Ackles, who could have easily phoned it in, because like I mentioned, this movie wasn't theatrical. It was straight to DVD. It was streaming, not streaming, but like straight to DVD. He fucking acted his ass off in this, man. You know, he didn't just come in for a paycheck like, like some actors do. No disrespect to those actors, because I don't think you necessarily sometimes always have to just be a voice actor to be a good actor. Like, to be a voice actor, I think like Keanu Reeves, for example, even though Sonic 3 hasn't come out, I really think he's gonna kill it as Shadow, because he said he gives a shit about the character, and he's really trying to learn about the character. And I don't see him as one of those who, because there are some actors who just voice act, even in like theatrical releases, who aren't voice actors, who sometimes will like just phone it in. Like, it's like they'll just literally read the script and read their lines, but like no fucking gravitas, no oomph, like nothing to it. They'll just deadpan it. Like, especially when it's like a video game or even like a straight to DVD or streaming movie. But the fact that Jensen Ackles acted his ass off in this is great. To where I think this is one of my favorite Jensen Ackles roles, and it's not even like, live action. This tells you something. I really, really love this movie. So, if I were to rate this out of 10, Borderline is a borderline 10 out of 10, honestly, especially from what's going on as an animated movie and as a Batman story, especially. I really love this movie, and man, I think more people need to see it. But yeah, tomorrow Wild Bunch review, and yeah, that's about it. So talk to y'all later. Subscribe to Pin Down Podcast, link in the description. But yeah, guys, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.